Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Greg.
I'm Ben.
And today, we're drinking bourbon. And we're having a Christmas party.
Yeah, kind of.
It's kind of a celebration of the end of the year. It's our first Christmas as a channel.
Yeah, yep, and Christmas Eve is tomorrow, so we're doing a little Bourbon Note gift exchange.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you mind if I go first?
Oh, would you please?
Okay.
We're also talking about some of our favorite bourbons of the year and that kind of stuff. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. Let's do the gift exchange.
I'm guessing I could guess what it is.
There might be a bottle in there.
Yeah, it's a bottle. And you got me. Oh, never actually seen this.
It's a bottle of Cooper's Craft.
Cooper's Craft.
It's nothing crazy, but it's something not available in this area, and I know you've kind of had your eye on wanting to try it.
This would be awesome on the channel. Yeah, obviously I've seen it online, but never seen it in a store. So this is gonna be awesome.
Look for the upcoming review.
Totally. Cooper's Craft, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, we will set this aside. I got you something as well.
All right.
Well, it seems appropriate for a gift exchange.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
But I have to be honest. It comes with a few rules. Number one is we need to dim the lights.
What? Okay. That's kind of weird.
All right. Here you go.
Let's find out what's inside.
No. Don't shake it.
Okay. Fragile.
Now, like I said, it comes with a few rules. Number one, no light when you enjoy this bottle.
Okay.
Number two, no water. I know what you're thinking, maybe it needs some water. No water. And number three, no matter how much you want to try it, never drink this bottle after midnight.
Okay. I'm scared. Not a bad bourbon, but I really feel like a couple of drops of water would just open this thing up really nicely.
Never add water, and no matter what you do, never have a pour after midnight.
What's the worst that could happen? Hey, Greg. Yeah, so I had to pour that Benchmark last night. It wasn't bad. I think maybe we should do that for our review today. Greg, you need to get over here immediately.
Well, that was a long way to go to let everyone know that we're drinking a flight of Benchmark.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
So yeah, if you didn't gather from the video,
Well, Ben thinks Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
Gremlins is unequivocally a Christmas movie.
All right, I want to hear from everybody in the comments. Gremlins, yes or no?
Yeah, it's going to be an
Christmas
overwhelming
movie.
yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
And so for our Christmas episode, we're doing the Gremlins of Benchmark. So this is the Benchmark lineup. So original Benchmark.
Explain,
Yeah.
because most people probably know what this is, maybe.
Yep. So original Benchmark 8, Buffalo Trace Mash Bill 1, bottom shelf, budget pour.
80 proof, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And then they did within the last couple years, I think this came out like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But they're only available in Indiana. I don't know if that's changed. I know they're still not in Minnesota. But so they did 5 variations of Benchmark, and they all ascend in proof. And so they go from top floor small batch, single barrel, bottled in bond, and full proof. So we're gonna do a flight of all of them and just kind of see how the whole benchmark profile changes.
Yeah.
And we're gonna start with the original.
And a couple other cool things about this is they're all inexpensive. And they are hard to find, so it's kind of an allocated thing, but maybe not if you're in Indiana.
I would imagine, yeah, but as far as the country goes, these are super allocated,
Yeah, right.
but nobody really seems to care. So yeah, the most expensive one was $25. That was the full proof. I think I got the whole flight of 5 for $100.
It's amazing.
So, all right, let's go for the first one here.
First one, this is regular benchmark. We did a review of this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
It's also not great.
See, I think I actually like it. It's got nice mellow notes, bourbon notes. It's not overwhelming, and if you're really a bourbon geek, you've probably had way better bourbons than this, to be honest.
Well, yeah, this is definitely
It's entry level.
yeah, it's entry level, cheap. It's just there's just not much going on. It's kind of like caramel sugar water.
Yep, but I actually
bit.
really like the flavor.
So-
So I would say this is a good starting point. It's got a ways to go before it's really interesting, complex, and so on, but it's a good starting point.
So this is 80 proof. The next one that comes in at 86 proof, that's the
and
top
just
floor.
by the way, while we were joking around with don't add water, I think we actually endorse the do not add water to this bourbon.
Oh yeah, because when we were filming that little thing, we did it a couple times, so I kept pouring water into it. Yeah, you don't need to add water to benchmark, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So this is a top floor, 86 proof. Top floor, from what I understand, means exactly what it says. Like this is aged on their top floor, and that's...
So it's probably hotter in summer.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, maybe
supposedly adds a little something. 86 proof.
Yep, wood sugars are probably a little bit more prominent.
Right off the bat.
I don't think I even knows that one, but there's not a lot to it.
Compare the nose on these two. I mean, there's definitely a noticeable difference.
Toasted almonds.
You're getting some oak on this one and a little bit of that wood spice.
Yeah, I think the wood's a little bit more prominent because of the heat, maybe. Boy, a lot more character.
Definitely an improvement.
So it's like the same flavors, but they're just richer and bolder because of maybe the more complexity from the wood tannins.
Yeah, I think maybe if you had this one without having the original beforehand,
It'd be mediocre.
yeah, it might not come across. You know, this is like regular benchmark got dressed up for a court appearance. You know, it's just like a little.
Maybe it's kids'
It's
piano
like we
recital.
appreciate
Like,
the effort. You look nice, but we know why you're here.
Oh, you think
you know?
that's it?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh,
But I mean, it's a good step up for sure. It's definitely a noticeable step up.
great aunt's funeral. I mean, there's plenty of reasons to get dressed up that are not for a court appearance. I mean, honestly.
Well, you know, never know. All right, so I'm moving along here. I want to go through these, you know, not too fast, but we also don't want to make this an hour-long video as we tend to do when we get into longer flights.
Okay, so number 3 is the small batch.
90 proof?
90 proof.
Okay.
Don't have any details on how small is, but we're
Yeah.
guessing it's huge.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll be adding video clips to that for sure. Yeah, I mean, small batch, I mean, it is what it is, right? It's kind of,
It
doesn't legally mean anything.
It doesn't. It's a generic term.
Slightly different flavor,
I think
actually.
it's a honey molasses kind of note. It's got a rich, airy.
I'm
kinda-
getting the honey. That's interesting.
Don't call me honey.
I'm definitely, yeah, I mean, there's some noticeable difference there for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go in for it.
It's got a real nice density to it, and really a lot more honey kind of note, bourbon note.
That's got a lot of character to it, actually.
It does.
It's pretty bold for 90 proof.
Yeah, it's got a lot of floral, kind of bright notes.
It is bright. It's got a nice kind of sharp edge to it, where you're starting to get a little more proof. And again, comparing it to an 80 proofer, you're going to notice that maybe a little bit more than you would.
Yeah.
But it definitely holds up to other 90 proof ones that we've done recently.
I agree.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It's not.
All right. Next one is
Number 4.
single barrel, 95 proof. So single barrel, obviously these are going to vary, but
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do a water before this one.
not getting as much off the nose on.
That's I just noticed that I didn't notice anything on this one. Still haven't noticed anything.
Nose is kind of weak on this, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a light leather slash.
Is it maybe like we're smelling the dishwasher in the glass a little bit?
Yeah, that probably doesn't help, but there's just a real subtle, earthy kind of note. Maybe that's barrel.
Yeah, there's a little bit there, but boy, that really seems like a step down for being a step up in proof. Well, let's go and see what the palate does.
It brought some back. Some nice flavor.
That feels super weak to me.
Really?
Yeah, like
so I think it's kind of bold, but only with one very specific flavor. It's a red pepper kind of note. It's got a nice spice, but there's not a lot of complexity or breadth to it. It's a bit of a one-hit wonder.
And I got a little bit more off of it that time. That first sip it just felt weak. You know, like too smooth, you know? Mm-hmm. All right. I haven't finished mine on purpose, so I can make a Franken bourbon at the end.
A Franken bourbon.
Yeah. Just gonna put them all together.
Benchmark rare.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. All right, so this is bottled in bond. Now we are fans of the 100 proof range
The
and up.
bottled in bond law is one of our favorite laws, actually.
Do we have favorite laws?
Well, in this particular case, you know, ensuring quality and a consistency for bourbon. Who's not in favor of that?
Ooh, this one's got some cinnamon to it. I mean, they're all within the same family, but they really do each kind of have some sort of variation to them. Like they've kind of all got their own. Mm-hmm. Like this smells nice.
I'm getting just caramel, not a lot of cinnamon yet. Not a lot of cinnamon. It's got like a buttery brown sugar flavor.
I didn't get much cinnamon on the taste.
It's got a good finish though. It's got a really complex finish that really builds. It doesn't necessarily build to 11,
right?
But it definitely builds. And
yeah, that's not bad.
It brings some nice finish.
I'd maybe like this one the best so far.
Yeah, it's got the most interesting finish. It does kind of fall off in the sense that it just turns into black pepper with not a lot of like interest.
Yeah.
It's just burny.
It's interesting doing this many bourbons that are all in the same family too, because it's like one can kind of cut the legs out from the other one. Like it'd be interesting to do these each on their own, just as a completely independent pour, which you and I have done this flight before, but I don't know if we ever just sat and like I've had some of this foolproof on its own.
Sure.
But I just wonder how much that really affects it, you know?
It's hard to say. I mean,
would this be a little more similar? Yeah. Would this be a little more bold if I hadn't just tasted these other ones in front of it? Probably.
Yeah.
But it does bring some nice flavor for sure. These are all, I mean, the single barrel I thought was a little weak, but these are all definite improvements so far off of the regular benchmark. And for not a whole lot more money, I mean, I know this is a liter, but I mean, these were mostly like $15, these bottom three, you know? All right, let's get into the full proof here.
Full proof. This is it 125?
125. Full proof because it's maximum barrel entry proof at 125. You're gonna rinse the glass with this one. Ooh, yeah.
A little bit more interest on the nose, definitely.
Nice sweet caramel.
Yeah. Vanilla.
Vanilla, yeah. Get some barrel in there too. Did any of these have ages on them?
I don't think any of them do. Other
it's
than
straight bourbon.
Obviously the barrel bottle and bond.
But I wonder if it's got the 36-month thing like the regular one does. It probably has it on there somewhere. All right, I'm going in for the taste of the full proof.
Okay.
Very nice. I like that. I'm a fan.
So this is a lot better
Yeah.
And so now the question becomes, is it because it just has more proof, or is it just a better bourbon? Like, you know, they handled it better and like it's a better barrel all the way through.
I don't know. But this is for $25 at 125 proof. If this was available in Minnesota at that price, I would always have one of these on the shelf.
It's got a nice initial flavor, but I gotta say it tastes a little hollow, meaning it's not very rounded. It's got a couple of unique flavors that are very good, but I feel it's really weak on some of the like the smooth buttery notes. Like there's no honey / buttery kind of like there's just
No, it's got like, I get what you're saying. It's got like a char and a caramel. It's got kind of a basic couple flavors wrapped into just kind of one, and that's about it. And then some nice proof.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, a $25 bourbon at 125 proof.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm buying that every time like I said, if it was available in Minnesota, this would be my go-to budget for a higher proof one. I mean, you don't always want 125 proof, but you know, sometimes you want to kick back and just have something that's going to give you a little bit of a punch in the face. And this would be a great option for that if it was around. So I hope they start making.
Hopefully that was a test and it's gonna be going nationwide. All right, so now I'm gonna be like driving down the interstate in 5th gear. I'm gonna downshift into 4th, but instead I hit 2nd. You ever driven a stick shift and done that? So I'm gonna go from the 125 proof to the 80 proof.
Okay. It's like if Gatorade made a bourbon flavor.
Which, by the way, why haven't they?
I don't know. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm pouring all of these, what's left, together.
See, I think that's hard though, because this actually has a more interesting caramel note for me and some sweetness.
Really?
But obviously it's missing the punch of the higher proof and the barrel kind of like influence.
So do you have a favorite to least favorite of the, well, I guess the whole line. I mean, you can include the original one, but.
Actually, surprisingly, I really felt that small batch kind of stood out as unique.
Yeah?
Bourbon is always good. This one was kind of missing some notes. I would not put that at the top of my list. It was good, definitely good. The single barrel was, this particular barrel is the, it's a stepchild that nobody likes.
Sure.
Other single barrels are probably
the red-headed stepchild.
Well,
you can just say it, Greg.
I didn't want to say it. Didn't want to say it, just in case.
No, I agree with you. I think that if I were to put these in order from favorite to least favorite, no, I didn't mind any of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Know,
yep.
Full proof is favorite, bottled and bond second.
Okay.
I would say third is the small batch. The single barrel and the top floor kind of battle it out.
So I actually kind of like the top floor. It was kind of an interesting one for me.
I really felt that single barrel was kind of weak. So maybe that I would put the top floor above the single barrel.
Yeah, this one has okay complexity with the caramel and the vanilla. Yeah, it's just that single barrel. That particular barrel just had a bad day.
Yeah. And it's not that it's bad.
No,
it just,
and it's not bad.
It just really felt like it was lacking something. So, all right. Well, this has been a benchmark flight. I hope that you're able to find these somewhere in your area. Unfortunately, it's kind of
soon.
Doing a review on the channel of something that's so not available.
We could do a Pappy Van Winkle, and it's not available either. So
yeah,
who
that's
cares?
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would for sure, like I said, the full proof, I'd be on that all day. You know, I'd always have a bottle of that on the shelf if it was around. So hopefully Buffalo Trace will start pushing these out. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I feel like you could skip a couple of these and just put that juice towards making more full proof and maybe more small batch.
I like the idea though.
I like the idea, but I'm just wondering if it's going to be one of those things where they can't keep up with the demand for it. I mean, I can't imagine these are aged more than. I could have swore that somewhere on here there was an age statement, but maybe not. Maybe they are all 4 years. So, all right. Well, this has been the benchmark full flight on the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben.
I'm Greg. Hit like, please subscribe if you're already a subscriber. Thanks for watching. And if you can support the channel financially, find us on Patreon at patreon.com/thebourbonnote. Cheers.
You nailed that.
Almost. I stumbled over it a couple of times. Practice.
Yeah. No, it was good.